Check on the left, HawK on the right. We go into map number 1, the first semi-final for the mTw Legendary Cup. Check versus HawK.
The surprise player of yesterday, Check, proving that even if he had been, gone from the very competitive circuit for a while, he is still certainly very dangerous. But so is HawK in this matchup. There's been a lot of talk in the scene that this is very hard for humans to deal with, the new day of the Keeper of the Grove. But this is Check, man. He's old school. He's not as well practiced with the Keeper of the Grove as he told us yesterday as well. So this could actually perhaps be a Demon Hunter. It's super rare to see nowadays. Yeah. It's almost always Keeper. Almost always, always, always. But there's some exceptions. And if there's one player to do this, it would be Check. Also, however, map dependent, we should certainly still expect a Keeper here.
I agree. And then the question is, how used is he to the Keeper meta? On Last Refuge, there's basically only one creep route. You start here at the green spot, and then we see where we go from here. Expansion, Mercenary Camp, early pressure. With the Keeper, a lot of stuff is possible. There he is. In the games against Foggy yesterday, he played Demon Hunter 3 times and Keeper of the Grove 1 time, and the only map he lost was the Keeper. So, HawK, even in the old patch, 1.30.1, he was one of the strongest player in this very matchup. Almost finding solutions against Law Liot in China, offline. That was such a strong performance. And since then, he developed really good strategies and really good timings against this. I would count him as one of the best human versus night elf players in the world.
I totally agree. Back then, when things looked extremely difficult, even then he had good success. Back then it was a little bit different, though, I think, compared to what we see nowadays. Night Elf was even stronger, and human expansions really were pretty much impossible. Nowadays, human expansions very much so are possible again, with the Keeper having been nerfed, the Alchemist having been nerfed, Huntresses and Glaives as well. So quite a bit of early game power has been taken away from the Night Elves. And HawK already showed that he has certainly become more of an expansion player again, going back somewhat to the roots of the race.
Detonate by Check. He knows exactly what his teammate is doing. We have a Shadow Priest for the rush, and the Water Elemental is gone already, and that's a big chunk of damage from HawK's side. He has, of course, the Militia backup, but here comes another Wisp for the Detonate, and that would mean no second Water Elemental. Great timing for Check. Of course, he loses 2 Wisps, but he gains so much more.
Yeah, and everything here is, not everything, but quite a few are already hurt. And here comes the Keeper, but it's only treants, no Entangle yet, so it's hard to find these kills. Shadow Priest, how many kills does he need for the level 2 is the question here. Needs 2 more. 1 more kill, and he'll have that level 2 on his Keeper. And with the Peasants, he might be able to get it.
I don't think there's not enough right-click damage here with 25 average. That's not too much. On the flip side, HawK is cleaning this spot here, got the item, unlike yesterday where his opponent stole the Robe of the Magi. That was Enter, of course. So this harass was okay, but not too big, I think. It's interesting how HawK changed up his early game. He was all-out aggression for quite some time, even harassing with a level 1 Archmage on this map to just pressure this Keeper of the Grove. Now, way more safe, going for the Mercenary Camp first. That has, of course, to do with a little Golem pull trick that the pros developed just this year. So this Mercenary Camp is way easier to creep nowadays, and having the Shadow Priest against an Entangle and for the healing is really, really good. And HawK got level 2.5, got the Brilliance Aura, so Water Elementals are a thing again. In the meantime, Keeper of the Grove is finally creeping up to level 2, got the Sentry Ward, lots of vision on HawK's side of the map. Ogre Magi goes to HawK, and that is the level 2 Water Elemental.
And here it is, the early expansion. He's got the Merc Camp support, and he's got the level 3 AM. It's looking pretty good for HawK so far. How much can Check really do here? He killed one of the Shadow Priests, but that one was out of mana anyways. Getting the Berserker, that would be a big one. But he doesn't have too much damage here. No Treants, only the Archers. But it seems like the Archers are just barely good enough. Actually.
Keeper is about to drop here. 55 HP only. Didn't do too much, but the expansion is pretty much delayed. 4 minutes something now. Berserker is still alive. That was good. He got level 3. That's pretty hard to do on Last Refuge, actually. So,
and he got the second Shadow Priest. This is so important. He's got a new one now with new Dispels. Keeper's biggest strength is his spell damage, basically, with the Entangle. But here we go. Usually you can find these kills in the early game easily, but not when there's a Shadow Priest saving his friend from the mercenary camp, the Berserker, and that is one of the most important units in the early game.
Great movement by Hawk, covering the bottom with his units, the north with his Archmage. So this absolutely is a TP. Attacked the creeps before, but alright. TP forced, only level 2.5, expansion nowhere to be seen, and the tech is so late by Check.
He did... I thought it had started a long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
Or an expansion, a counter expo, or something.
Nothing.
But literally nothing. He's got archers, and that's it.
Not even mercs. He can creep. Now he has a lot of archers here.
Oh, this is very strange.
So we got a bunch of wisps, but no Huntress Hall. So maybe he could have tower pushed. It's not the ideal position for a tower push in the south. It's way better in the north. But without a Huntress Hall, you can build engine protectors. So these wisps, yeah, they're good for detonating. But that's about it. So this is a very unique strategy. It's gonna be a heavy push, but if Hawk survives this one, he should be pretty safe. And now he sees the archers, can go. Oh, mass detonates here. 2 wisps down already.
Does Hawk want to fight here in this little corridor? Is he gonna
really.
fall back? He's gonna fall back.
Hawk is denying quite a bit of experience for this keeper, and you can see it just level 3. He got the big healing, which is okay, but of course you want the mana. Or with this build, maybe even the Scroll of the Beast. Hawk already with a lumber mill. Tech has not started yet, but more footmen are coming. And against this mass of archers, defend would actually be a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't think he went for it yet, though, did
Haven't
he?
seen it either.
I don't believe so. Keeper now walking towards the main, planting a sentry. And summoning the Treants. Level 2 on the Treants, level 1 on the Entangle here with his level 3. And now the Militia have to defend. The main force of Hawk is going to come in as well, swooping to the main to clean up this pressure. But in the meantime, the Archers are going to take out the towers of the expansion.
That's a really cool play by Check. 2 attacks at the same time, not a single tower up yet. Hawk was a little greedy, saving on this Arcane tower to deal with the Treants. If he has that tower earlier, he just doesn't have to go there with his army, but good timing for the Russian as well. Defending these archers here, deflecting the Keeper in his main. Yeah, with a few losses. Again goes into Lumber, where he has not too much of. But his Echo stays alive, so he can go for more and more footmen. And since Check's tech is also so late, that's okay, I guess.
Getting those towers was a really big deal, though. If Hawk had perhaps scouted a little bit better or had split his forces earlier, these towers could have finished, and then a tier 2 follow-up attack with a second hero for Check might not be so scary. But as it is now, tier 2 is finishing soon for him. In fact, it is already done, actually, with the Alchemist, of course, joining. There's so many archers, my goodness.
Haven't seen so many archers in a long time. But you know, Night Elves, they're getting used to their tier 1 unit more and more and more. But if Hawk survives this, and it absolutely looks like it with 2 Arcane towers up now, if he attacks and then gets the Mountain King, he's gonna clap them to pieces.
Usually with the MK, though, you really want level 3, and it's gonna be hard to find that time here. That
True.
freedom to get there.
The timing for Check should be good. There's not too many footmen, it's only 5, and the Berserker, who doesn't do too much against archers. A Mauler would be good, of course. He has 1 more Water Mantle.
Defend just finished a moment ago, very important.
Big help.
But not that many footy, as you said, only 5.
And there's Acid Bomb. The counter, the hard counter against Footman, because it drops them down to -1 armor. Militia coming in as well. He's dealing with the Treants first, trying to pressuring this Keeper of the Grove, but there is a big heal potion, so I don't know if that's the right call. Is aiming for Archers now to get a little bit more experience and still holding on, but with Militia usage and therefore lumber cost. And that is the tech finally for Hawk. We have the Nature's Blessing coming in. And a Huntress Hall. Super late, though. The tech was already late, then second hero, now Huntress Hall. Maybe it's just for upgrades, as he has the expansion up. So once this is established, he can go for tier 3 and marksmanship and more upgrades.
Hawk, though, he wants to move across aggressively now himself, realizing that there must be a counter expansion somewhere. How much can he do against this, though? He's got the footies, he's got some mercenaries, and 1 single scroll of healing, which could be very helpful here indeed. Killing 1 archer, very close down to level 4 for the AM, which would mean plenty of water elementals, of course.
And there's another kill. It's not nighttime. Good timing for HawK. Can't use the Shadow Melt. But Ensnare from the creeps is flying onto the Berserker. Footman still chasing here with the defense, taking barely any damage. Archmage is, funnily enough, the damage dealer here in this army alongside the Wards Elemental. Man, this fight is all over the place. Archers hurt, but saved a lot as well. Same goes for the Footman. Creeps are helping now, spreading a lot of their poison. And now Moonwells are here to save these archers. HawK at level 4 from this. And buying time for his attack. So this attack was good, even though he's losing 2 or 3 footmen more. He has almost 1,000 gold already. Detonates again. Whoa, those were 3 wisps invested into this.
But he's got decent lumber. Check can quickly reproduce them. And the expansion of his is going to start mining here in just a moment. Keeper level 4, Alchemist 2.5.
We got quite a bit of experience here without too many creep spots, that's for sure.
Blacksmith is done. Rifle upgrades are coming in already. Is that what he wants to go for?
A player's forces
are they good against archers? That's not really a duel we ever see. That's
true.
Archers. On paper, breakers, for example, should be really good. Not just against the archers, but also against the heroes.
And you can take over the treants with Control Magic, since the latest patch, Control Magic, is available on Tier 2 and got a lot cheaper, so maybe we see that later. And in an ideal world, you can burn the Alchemist as well. So yeah, I'm a fan of the Breakers as well. They don't do too much damage if Check decides to go for something else.
Yeah. If there should be a transition into either bears or mountain giants, then breakers certainly can fall off. In general, in this patch, we've seen breakers being used less and less. The round on the keeper is gonna force the staff only.
Yeah, there's no TP anymore and no staff of preservation, so this was quite a dangerous situation. But of course, HawK has barely any damage in his army. And this army is quite ridiculous, man. It says 47 supply, but where is it?
Here comes the MK, he's in production. Tier 3 is coming as well for HawK, not looking for any kind of Tier 2 aggression. It's rifles, it's Sanctum, MK and a workshop. We're going super tech heavy with ranged army.
Oh man, and fragmentation shards are the dream against archers. Is Check going Tier 3? Yes, he's looking for the marksmanship as well. He's going old school bears once again, sticking to the unusual meta of like 2 years ago or so, trying bears.
Okay. There could be a timing window where bears with roar and rejo and all that can be very powerful. But if this goes like really, really late, MK hits level 3, 3rd hero paladin or whatever, 70 to 80 supply HawK with inner fire, with 3 attack upgrades, with mortar teams, I think those bears are just gonna get sniped down super fast.
And
but that's gonna take a while.
HawK's tech is a little ahead even. So of course, upgrades for the human take a little longer as the bear master training is finished so quickly. But you will have some mortar teams already. You're just waiting for the frag shards. You might even go for Blizzard for increased damage. You will have Priest by then. And you have Dispel against the Treants. So I think in 2 minutes or so, HawK will be ready. Does Check find a time before? We have a bear with Adapt for Roar, as we see. 1-0 upgrade only. Mountain King is ready. Book of the Dead aiming for the surround here. There is an invul on the Mountain King. Clap coming in, doing good damage. And Tangle has to break it with the invul potion. Alchemist is in a little bit of trouble, but has an invul himself.
These archers are actually doing pretty good damage.
Yeah. Double Book of the Dead. Quite funny to see.
And HawK is falling back towards his main. There's no shop here, actually. We would love to have a staff to just be safe, but the shop is at the expansion. But he's got priests now as well to heal him with. And he's got a very good position here, tucked behind the buildings, with 2 more teams already, a 3rd one coming in. But no frag shards just yet.
We've kind of seen this yesterday with Happy versus Cash, where it was basically the same position. With a lot of melee, you can't break through this really. Oh, one of Mana Stealing being used again. And Tangle, the Mountain King, has nothing to save him. You called it out. The staff would be fantastic, or a potion, but no, nothing here. No consumable, no staff for the rescue. So the level 2 Mountain King falls, and Check is getting more and more units here, more and more bears. Upgrades as well. Master Training started now. And he's still pushing into that base. Frag shards at 60% though. And 3 mortars still alive. Alchemist in trouble in the front. There is a staff. There's no staff. Oh no. TP, health potion, staff. There was so much that could have saved the 2nd hero, and now the level 3 Alch is dead.
Yeah, exactly. He had the invul there as well. Now he buys him back from the tavern.
expensive.
Which I'm also not sure if there's a need to. Like, is there...
Yeah, HawK is pushing now. He absolutely needs it. He needs clarity. He's running. He has a Paladin third.
No,
70 supply. Is it a red spot?
He's creeping. He's waiting for his MK, who's still not back.
Of course.
That took a long time. He was stuck behind the Paladin. HawK still wants to creep. If HawK can get to level 3 Paladin, level 3 MK with all those upgrades, he's going to be extremely strong. So I guess it's still up to Check here to keep up the pressure. And maybe for that reason he went for the Alchemist, which I guess was the right call.
Check is still like no Dryads at all, right? There's no Dispel, and Inner Fire is finished in a second, and then everything does more damage, has more armor. Level 5 on the Archmage. Whisper coming in to detonate against the Priest and Archmage. Connecting, not detonating here. The Paladin got a big item, but almost losing his life for it. Is he in range? Yes, barely. Across the entire screen, but man, this Endurance Aura is fantastic.
This cost HawK quite a few resources, losing 2-3 units, losing TP, but this aura is amazing. He's gonna have a massive units with good upgrades. I'm kind of waiting for the third attack upgrade. Perhaps he's forgetting about it a little bit right now. But he's got the Moira teams, he's got the rifles, he's got the priests. Only thing he's missing now is levels on MK and Paladin, and then he's gonna be super strong.
Maybe some consumables as well. He has no TP at the moment. He has no Invo Potion, no Heal Potion, nothing. So if there's an Entangle Acid Bomb combo, there's definitely a potential for Check to get this hero kill again.
Now HawK was at the shop at the Expo. Now he's got the staff, so he's got one more way of saving his heroes mainly. He's got Divine Shield as well, going for the next red camp. And if he gets this, should be level 3 MK as well.
Yeah, Check is super far away, and this damage is insane. Mountain King with the Cloak of Flames. Super tanky, thanks to the ring, the belt. He can basically stand in the middle of everything for a long time. We have a heal scroll now, stolen from HawK's base, and the second Tree of Life coming up. The Night Elf Mass Expansions game, old school Moon style. HawK needs to scout this.
Now Tree Interest coming in. Oh, whoops. Accidentally only hitting 2 of those trees. HawK's got a lot of peasants, by the way. I didn't realize this before. I was like, oh, his lumber's looking good. But yeah, the peasants are the reason. He had like, I don't know, 12 maybe on lumber, which is a lot. Now he's losing some, which perhaps he's not even too sad about happening to him. HawK is not getting... he's not panicking because of this Tree Interest in the main. He's still continuing to creep. He is level 3 MK already, and could be level 3 Paladin in a second as well.
Alchemist almost up at level 5. And that's quite a few kills for the Keeper. Of course, Tranquility, the ultimate of the Keeper of the Grove, will change a bit with that invulnerability, and some healing can be dispelled by the Stormbolt though. So HawK needs to save some of them. So now we have 5 Treants in the base, and that should be time for HawK to respawn, but he's just continuing to creep.
I think this is okay. He's continuing to lose peasants, but that's not too painful. However, it is experience for the Keeper, of course. And we all know how good Tranquility is. But that being said, the Keeper isn't all that close, really. The next tower is going to finish up. That's going to help, and that should finally be the harassment over here soon. And now HawK, here's his power spike. Level 5 AM, level 3 MK, level 3 Paladin. This massive army with 3 attack upgrades.
Yeah.
And 2 armor upgrades as well, by the way. Now going to the shop for more consumables, heal scrolls, and invuls. This could be a killing blow already here.
And Blizzard, this is full damage. Rifleman, as you said, 3-1, increased attack speed thanks to the aura. 4 mortar teams, also 3-1 of course, as they share upgrades with fragmentation shards. And now we get Blizzard on top of all this as well.
Yeah, and the Clap Blizzard.
Yeah.
Clap Blizzard plus frag shards.
One of the most beautiful combos in all of Warcraft. Does he have the time to kill this before the TP? No, he's forced into the fight. The downside of this is no blockers. 2 riflemen caught immediately, but look at this damage! Clap and Blizzard is wrecking the Koreans' army, but can he strike back somehow? There's nothing. He could use Entangle to cancel the Blizzard, but my god, these bears! Call Vita or something!
Oh my god, this AoE damage is sick. He's trying to get rid of his MK now, but he's quick with his spells against the Entangle, and there's a strong Holy Light now as well. Everything's mass upgraded, plus Inner Fire, plus these strong heroes now. HawK was playing for the late game. MK dropping lower still, but there are the heals. He's not in trouble. The Paladin's low, but he's got Divine Shield. And what does Check have? 64 supply, but it's not here.
Yeah,
everything just died.
There's a Mountain Giant now, soaking up damage, saving those 2 bears, but this expansion, say goodbye. didn't mind too much. Didn't mind anything. He had no wisps in there. So almost 400 gold down the drain.
Yeah, HawK playing for the late game here, expanding and getting his tech up, turtling, 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 and then suddenly, boom, 80 supply. One of the perfect armies, basically, you can wish for.
Mortar teams are a little far away. There we go. Trying for the detonates again. Mountain King has almost full mana, going for the Keeper immediately. There's the stun. Where's the clap? Doesn't have the mana at the moment. But yeah, these bears had almost no time to heal themselves. Good saves by Check, but yeah, this is not a force fighting. But this is a time for HawK now where he can establish the next expansion.
This was a little scary for HawK for a moment there. Everything was low mana. Not just the heroes, also the priests, meaning basically no healing and no inner fire. So he falls back, having lost basically nothing. Now it's time to mana up again. As you said, establish a new base perhaps. Check does know about this, but can he do anything about this? He's at 70 supply. He's got 5/5 heroes. But I think he's just got the worst army, man.
Yeah, he's supply stuck. He has a lot of melee and nothing really to back this up. A Fairy Dragon now, but what does that really do? Against the Priest, it's nice, but will it really reach?
Yeah, and also if it gets gunned down by these rifles, it's gonna die immediately.
Yeah, and that was a expensive transition for Check going into this MGs. He has 2 now, that's 14 supply. Not sure if he has the upgrades for it. And the Blizzard rocking through again. No Entangle to cancel this. Clap on the bears, not on the bears that are affected by Blizzard, but man, these mortar teams take out the expansion once more. Check down to 1 base, and HawK escaping without losses again.
This is so strong. This super late game human army.
There's no mining anymore for Check at all.
Oh.
He can move over the Tree of Eternity, of course, but that exposes him as well.
Yeah, and he's still at 70, so it kind of looks good there. This is so... He's in such a deceptively horrible position. He's got 5/5 heroes, 70 supply, tier 3 bears, MGs. All that sounds good. But this is not what is needed to deal with HawK.
What would be
I don't
a good
know.
solution?
I've seen the super late game human army against Night Elf plenty of times now, and it looks so strong. It is so strong. And I haven't seen the perfect counter to it yet. I think ultimates.
Yeah, kind of.
I think it's ultimates.
You have enough damage to deal with mountain giants. You easily have enough damage to deal with bears. There's no dryads for slow or like moon style dryad dances. You can't go chimeras really because there's so much anti-air with the riflemen who gun them down. What can you do? It's very hard to say. We're getting 3/3 upgrades though for Check. He's actually expanding here, so the Tree of Eternity has a long journey ahead of him. HawK is of course mined out in the main as well, but with 2 gold mines, that should be fine for him. He has nothing to spend really, like 1 more unit or so, and consumables where he has, I think, nothing. Mountain King has the mana potion and an invo potion, so that's good. So HawK is going for the base, but there's a counter attack by Check.
One thing Check could go for is attack one of these bases like this, force TP in, and then try to kill the AM since the TP is gone. Won't be easy, of course. Or is he going to try to snipe this base? With Roar, he's going to have plenty of damage. But no, he's going to back up as HawK is coming in to defend. And the MK with the Stormbolt is looking for some kills.
Okay. At the moment, Check seems to be in time here. We didn't mention this yet. The Scourge Bone Chimes are really good for survival on the mountain giants and bears.
They do help, yes. But I don't know that they help enough.
HawK is only mining from 1 base at the moment. The Treants took out the entire peasant line. That is, of course, more experience. And the 2nd gold mine is mined out almost. So can Check hold on until there's no gold anymore?
But the peasants he lost, he's not reproducing. He's bringing lumber peasants from the main. He's going back up to 80 though still, which means he's adding more army to this already killer strong, superhuman human army, if I may call it that.
Right, here we go again. Clap, Blizzard, everything down to yellow again. Staffs are of course being used. Can you reach Tranquility in time? Clap again. Blizzard, man. Endless snowstorms.
This MK is sick. He's covering like half the army of the Night Elf with clap after clap. More and more bears are dying. Blizzard raining down continuously, of course. AM dropping low now. Can he at least force the TP? He can. But once again, after a horrible trade, as he's losing almost 2 more bears, barely surviving there for Check. But once again, this engagement was lost by the Night Elf.
But he has 2 gold mines up. This one is mining. There's still 3,000 gold in. This one starts mining soon. And HawK, when this gold mine is empty or harassed all the time, he has no chance of income anymore.
That's actually true. That second base mining out here does make a difference. HawK is continuously getting forced back with pressure on the AM. Perhaps he should try to go for invols for him as well. Now he's moving across without TP or invol on the AM, which can be a grave danger.
There is an invul on the Mountain King, which he, I think, doesn't need. Like 1000 HP plus Holy Light. I don't really know if there's a need for this. Archmage, super squishy, of course.
Town is under
Might be
siege.
better for him. Once again, he's not giving Check too much time. Where's the clap? There we go. Cat Micro out of the snowstorm that will form the Paladin. Would love to see Divine Shield, the Aura here, and he goes for it. So constant scroll protection, basically, on HawK's units now as well. Devotion Aura as well.
Players' forces are under
So how's the experience looking? The Keeper level 6 isn't too far away.
Same goes for the Archmage though. Clamp again, Blizzard again. Mountain Giants are losing more and more HP. Alchemist has nothing on him, but no mana anymore for Stormbolt. Check is trying to hold on, but looking so desperate. He needs more time for the expansions to work off. GG! Alchemist was about to die in the snowstorm, and yeah, that's about it. HawK, massive kills here. Check immediately going to his phone like, wifey, that wasn't too good. I need some help there.
And super solid play by HawK as well, right? He had his game plan, early expo into somewhat turtle mode and try to delay and disrupt the counter expansion as much as you can. He did that fairly well with the footy harass, but it wasn't about the early game. It wasn't about the mid game. It was about the ultimate army in the end. HawK has this perfect army in mind, and if he gets there, he's gonna look extremely powerful. And yeah, I think ultimate is the only answer, honestly.
In the very late game, yes, Last Refuge has quite a bit of experience, but he never got really close to 6 because he couldn't find too many kills at the end anymore. There was so much mana for heal. There was the Paladin saving stuff left, right, and center. There were heal scrolls all the time. HawK was prepared for this, and he got quite a few peasants. Okay, but that's 25 experience and shared by 2, so that doesn't do too much anymore. This build in the early by Check, though, what was that?
Yeah, that's true.
Mass
That was
archers,
very weird.
no hunts, late tech, late counter expansion. This was something, like, maybe wanted to surprise him by this big archer push, but I feel, yeah, we didn't have too many footmen, like 5 or so, but once defense was up, not even the alchemist could do anything about it.
Yeah, he certainly was super heavy on the archers. And that tech almost seemed like a macro mistake. I think he had resources left over, but I'm not 100% sure on this, so I don't know for sure, but yeah, it looked weird. Usually when you play Night Elf, it's going to be fast tech for the fast alchemist, which is very good against everything human has, basically, or a fast counter expansion. But this was needed. This was mass archers. And it looked scary for a moment, where he may be able to, could have perhaps been able to break the expansion after he was attacking with the Keeper in the main. Archer sniped the towers at the expo. That was really smart. But the follow-up wasn't quite good enough. HawK was really good with the militia calls all the time, and what I liked as well in the super late game was the rather early switch to Blizzard, not feeding those water elementals time and time again, not giving the easy level 6 to the Keeper.
That's a
and
really good point, actually. He switched to the Blizzard, which he doesn't really need if you have mortar teams and riflemen for the damage, but that's a good point. There was no mass of dryads, so water elementals were not useless at all in that game. Of course, wisps, but that costs a lot for Check as well, and he was down to 1 base at a time, so he couldn't afford to bring wisps all the time. But yeah, the not feeding experience point is a really good one. So 1-0 for HawK, 2 matches away from the grand final. Here we see first person from Check, the uncle, the oldest man in the scene, 33 years old. It is actually a surprise that he is here in the semi-final. HawK, this was expected. He expected to face a Night Elf as well, but rather not his teammate, as Check upset yesterday against Foggy. He wasn't playing bad or anything. It was just overwhelmed by the unit composition here, I think.
Yeah, and what we were talking about yesterday and also a little bit today is Check is sometimes more fond of the older meta, isn't as well practiced with the Keeper as some of the other Night Elves may be. But looking back at the first game in memory, he didn't really make big mistakes outside of that weird opening build. That was certainly strange with the late tech and everything. But other than that, the Keeper harass was on point. The Alchemist leveling up was well done. Mountain Giants Bears, there's nothing too out of the ordinary there either, I
Players'
guess.
forces are under attack.
But HawK, he just seems to have a really good grip on this matchup at the moment, I think.
That's true. Also playing differently from what we've seen online with less aggression and more turtling in the beginning.
Yep.
Keeper of the Grove versus Archmage it is again. On this map, expanding is so hard. We have Purge, we have Poison, we have an Overseer. That's not really not easy to do. So maybe HawK has to go for one base or a tier 2 expansion instead of the tier 1. And then it's going to be interesting how Check is trying to punish them.
And here's the aggression we were talking about earlier. Makes a lot of sense on this map, as you said, because of how difficult the expansion is. If you can't expand and turtle, then may as well be aggressive. If you can force this Keeper to remain level 1 or 2 for a long time, this is outstanding for you. So, HawK is not aware of the Keeper's positioning, actually is looking for his own level 2 here. Both players going to the Spider Crab, hoping for that Tome of Experience potentially, but getting level 2 regardless.
Check got a Tome of Agility, and there it is! The Russian is a little lucky today. First, the Endurance Aura, now Tome of Experience. Boosts him up to level 2.5. Close to the so important level 2 water elementals, because then not that easy dispellable or killable. It is a tier 2 tech, quite fast. Check this time, not going heavy on the archers. That tactic is gone, so pretty fast tech by both players.
Yeah, absolutely. It's looking way more standard, I guess, especially from the Night Elf side, and HawK not expanding is, understandable as well. Trading a few hits here, the AM is kind of protecting the footies, and hits level 3 thanks to that Tome of Experience, and these water elementals so early in the game are really strong. Last hitting is important on these footies. If you can deny that one, this would be a big deal. A little too late, yeah.
He was really good with the denies on map 1, and you need that to keep the Keeper away from level 3. But there's already a lot of damage on the Keeper, going 4 archers now, that's fine. 1 level behind, he is of course, and Check seems to be a little overwhelmed here. Not only the Tome of Experience, but also creeping with Militia against the Turtles in the north. So a little multitasking by HawK.
HawK certainly, fortunate with that drop, but he's making great use of it. The AM is not really considered to be, the brawly guy who's standing in front, who's forcing attention, I guess, and who's looking dominant. But now in this state, with these strong water elementals, he can perhaps do it. But another Entangle comes in. This Footman has to be doomed. He last hit that one. Goes to the Keeper again.
2.4 now. And no mana on this Archmage anymore. Water Elemental expires. Can't do too much about it. Check might forget the Huntress Hall again or delay it on purpose for once again more archers. And he's heavy on the archers once more.
Yeah, really heavy. He's got, what, 6 so far? Is he making more? 6, okay. Not going like 9 or 10 or whatever it was like the last game. And he saved them all so far, right? I don't think he lost a single archer yet.
I agree.
And the Keeper is almost there now. He only needs 141 and Water Elemental of Experience for the level up. He's got to get the Footman right here. That's almost level 3.
Huntress Hall is very late. Only started once the tech was done. HawK was already going into Rifleman. They are not that strong against archers, of course, but for creeping, they can be really good at the dragons in the upper left and bottom right. And what is Check going to do? It should be, of course, an Alchemist again. It's a shop coming now. And there we go.
HawK is going for the Alchemist here as well. I like that as well, considering the early stages of the mid-game here. He lost quite a few footmen, to be honest. So it's going to be hard for him to creep anything without a hero. A second one coming out right now with some damage. He's trying for the surround on the Ogre Lord. I don't think this is stuck, actually. No, it is. Okay. He's a big boy. You can be a little more liberal with the footy position. He's going to lose one more footman right here, but that's, I guess, worth it. Gets the medallion, which is nice.
For the Alchemist, it certainly is. Or if there's heavy pressure on the Archmage, having a bit more HP is never wrong. So it should be Acid Bomb and on both sides. The question is, will we see Rage or is it Heal Spray later?
HawK definitely has to be the Heal Spray. And I think also for Check, right? If you can heal up Mountain Giants with Heal Spray, we've seen that be very effective as well.
Concealed certainly one of the Night Elf maps at the moment where you still go Mountain Giants. They fell a little out of meta with the patches, or with the patch 1.304. They are still strong, of course, but take a little more supply, then your army isn't as strong in total. And you usually lack a bit of damage. You can't make up for that with a bunch of archers, and yeah, Check seemingly going for that.
Yeah, that's kind of how Foggy play a WGL. Just a couple of archers rushing into MGs. MG's tank in the front, and the archers with the marksmanship later on, along with the alchemist, provide the damage. Check has not looked for any kind of aggression with the alchemist coming out. This is what we saw all of the time at 1.30. First hit with the keeper level 3 plus alchemist timing, you can find many, many kills. But nowadays, humans are more aware of this, are more careful about it, and perhaps for that reason, Check not opting to go for any kind of aggression early on. Keeper perhaps on a bit of a harassment mission towards the main door once again.
Invo Potion is on the alchemist. No tier 3 tech by HawK. Can he get an entangle kill or a Treant support? Sniping the priest, that's nice. This spell is ready, and in the fights, these Treants can make a difference. It says once again, no blockers at all for the human. Alchemist once again solo creeping. It's a little orc-esque, I feel, with an harassing Keeper of the Grove, and the second hero is solo leveling.
Yep. But Keeper isn't getting too much done. He's forcing a bit of mana out of these priests. It's being a little annoying. I guess he's slowing HawK down, so he's successful in that regard. HawK didn't want to go for a tier 2 expo here. He is going once again towards his big perfect army. I think he's going to go tier 3. He's got the lumber for it, he's got the peasants for it. He's nearing 50 supply. But a fight might be brewing here as the Keeper knows where the human is heading, and the alchemist and the archers are joining in from the back.
Oh, the dragon, quite a big creep here. Fountain, not really easy to use at the moment. Chemical Rage it is. Check not going for the healing, kills one priest immediately. That's only one dispel left, and he doesn't even have the mana anymore. Mid-game is looking good for Check, man. The Mountain Giants will get their upgrade soon as tier 3 has finished. 14 supply, joined the battlefield. And he's just waiting for resistance skin and hardened skin.
Bear Adept upgrade also being researched though, so might be Bears joining in later once again. HawK wasn't really ready to fight there.
No, he cancelled it.
At that backstab, because the priests were out of mana. The priests need to have mana, so they have the spell. And for that, level 4 AM is important. He's still not there though, and it's not that easy to grab. I guess if he gets the fountain creep, that would be good enough. This is some big level ups now for HawK. Level 3 on the Alk, almost level 4 on the AM, but no TP anymore. Makes this a little bit scary moving down south further onto the map.
He slowed down the Keeper a lot in favor of the Alchemist. What do you think about that? Isn't a strong Keeper...
I like it actually. Like, Keeper super strong when he hits level 3 in a timely fashion, but if this goes super late game once again with everybody being tier 3, everybody having mass upgrades and big armies, Keeper doesn't do that much. Especially not against mass priests, which we're gonna have, well, perhaps not mass, but a decent number, 3, 4, maybe 5, as they are creeping here. With that big level up now reach on the AM. Level 2 aura, really important for those priests we were just talking about, finding the root bracers. Could help out this Alchemist against the Entangle Acid Bomb combo. And the Keeper considering base attack, but no Treant harass here this time.
Hardened skin and resistant skin are ready, so... Slow doesn't do that much anymore to these mountain bands, and they are a lot more tanky. He's going to the shop. Is it some of the training time already? No, just a little invul. Big PvE game here. Lots of creeping, no little skirmishes, nothing. Check trying to establish the expansion now.
Yep. And I think that kind of favors Check because HawK would ideally like to go for a third hero, but whatever third hero he goes for can't even creep to level 2. There's like nothing left.
Absolutely. He's close to tier 3 now, building a workshop a little late, so frag shards and mortar teams will take a lot of time. And he needs that damage desperately. He's actually going for that bear. He has a master training now. I really like one bear on Adept maybe for Roar and Reju.
Yeah.
And the upgrade is rather cheap and rather fast, so if you're at 50 supply, why not? But the addition of the bear in general, love that idea.
HawK is moving south, looking for the cancel. Check would have loved to distract in the main of the human to buy time for his expo, but he wasn't quite fast enough. Expansion is cancelled. So now Check looking to see how much he can get done. Well, there's 2 arcanes in the main, and he's got mostly archers. But the 2 MGs, of course, will provide plenty of siege damage as well.
Yeah, siege sticks in their hands, so they move from normal to siege. Arcane needs the repair. Oh, he doesn't want to lose that master training. TP forced now by HawK. Treants are doing some damage in the main, but not too much. Acid Bomb is helping out, but the 2 towers are getting rid of it immediately. Hero as well. Oh, that was a big Acid Bomb.
First Rifleman getting taken out, so really good trade here for Check. Forcing the TP, forcing repair, and also killing 1 rifle. Expo was cancelled, yes, but that didn't cost too many resources.
Now, he cancelled it immediately once he saw that HawK is coming. But HawK bought the time for the Inner Fire. If he's not town portaling, he loses the Arcane Sanctum, he loses the big tier 3 upgrade. More mana regeneration, and of course the spell Inner Fire for the human now. Which is more damage and more tankiness.
So, a Gyro coming out now as well for a bit of scouting. We'll be flying across the map, and I guess frag shards after. I don't think he has them yet, right?
No, I don't think so either.
But it's also now difficult to consider, or to decide rather, when does he go into upkeep? HawK could go into upkeep now already, but you want to be at 50 for as long as you can to get more income and to get the biggest economic advantage you can. Check is already in upkeep, 61 supply. However, that advantage is still stuck in production, so this force is once again moving north. It's still basically the same size.
HawK is super low on lumber. 800 gold, but only 70. Invest into upgrades once again. The 3-0 costs so much. More bears coming in. Still not a single Dryad here yet. And more attack upgrades for the Korean as well.
So, when's HawK gonna go? Is he gonna add a 3rd hero? Paladin level 1 for Hoylite is always nice, but it's not like amazing. Clap level 1 the same. It's kind of nice, but not amazing at all.
Focus fire on the Alchemist, trying to get him away. There is a staff. Lots of damage, by the way, on this Keeper of the Grove. Plus 22 thanks to Roar. But this is a good choke, I feel, for HawK. He's losing 1 unit, but he can't break through with all the bears and MGs.
Okay, once again, it may just be 1 kill, but it's 1 for 0. And another kill.
2 for 0, true. But he doesn't get the fight that he wants. It's a Mountain King third. I kind of like it for Stormbolt against Tranquility later, but does this game really go to ultimates? Most likely not.
Another kill. Rifle for free, just like that.
Check plays is really smart, really calm, not overcommitting, and he has the time. The expansion is up, entangling, 30 seconds more, and then he got it.
It's looking really hard now for HawK. He has to kind of force an all-in fight at the expansion suit and try to win it, but he's gonna be down by 10 supply, maybe even more. And an experience.
He's going to 62 supply now, still no sign of a counter expansion. He's checking the left-hand side of the map constantly for a second, for a second additional gold mine.
All right, looks like it's go time. HawK is moving south, militia are there as well. He left behind the priest, but he's gonna realize that soon, I guess. Here we go.
Jack is starting the fight beforehand, and there was a big choke before. Now it's open battlefield. He wants to get the TP from the Keeper of the Grove, trying to attack Archmage in the middle of everything. Has to go for the inward soon to reposition, but he got that. That was a nice hero focus by HawK, absolutely necessary. I don't think he lost a unit, maybe 1 militia or so. Even in a fire on the militia here. And now it's time to push. Does he still have the strength without the invul potion?
Yeah, HawK has to force the fight here. Check 76 supply against the 62 of HawK, but some of that is still in production, I think. Yeah, some bears at least.
There's not a single mortar, is there? He built the workshop for the flying machine at the moment. So this siege is not nearly as strong as it was on last review.
Yeah, true. But still super strong rifles. 3-0 and inner fire. HawK will have to kite very well. No front line. With more teams.
Oh, the snipe from the Wisps are insane. He got all of them with the right clicks, but now it's Alchemist. Can he get him out? Yes, an invul potion was still available. No TP, no heal scroll, nothing. Mountain King is dropping fairly low as well. Alchemist is back in this fight with a rejuvenation. He's going for the entangle on the ultimate. As I said, no TP. Mountain King falls to the south. Can he get the first hero as well? Looks like it. Chemical Rage, a little bit of healing thanks to the spray. Archmage, oh, entangle hits him again, and Tech is getting a double kill.
Maybe even the third one, as the Alchemist also dropping low. And he is dead as well. GG by HawK. Check strikes back. Without the expansion for HawK, this game looked very different. He tried to get to the perfect army again. That's of course much harder to do on just one base. And Check playing this patiently, playing it really smart with pickoffs after pickoffs, and making it, basically impossible for HawK to get to where he wanted to. That was a much better map for Check, of course.
I agree.
The expansion close to impossible. For that reason, we didn't see it. And yeah, he kind of was supposed to win that. That was his map choice. Now it's HawK's map choice. And it's unsurprising that we're going to Northern Isles. Certainly a very decent map for human.
Yeah, you can expand there. With Terran Stand, the best expansion map for sure. I want to put some emphasis on the fast attack. He was still going heavy on archers, but later, after the tech, so it was a one base versus one base thing, and that favors the Night Elf all the time. Also, the two mountain giants were nice to soak up the damage.
Yep.
We have seen them in masses, like 5 or 6, and then you have basically no chance, but the games last forever because they don't have damage except if you kill the entire base with their siege damage. But here it was a very cool mix that worked out really nice. The taunts got rid of the damage on the bears, so he soaked that up. He had rejo on the bears as well, and the fountains, and the moonwells.
Yep.
So he could keep them at like green health all the time. They were never supposed to die, and they never did. And the damage didn't land where it was supposed to land. So really cool army composition by Check. He adjusted from his mistakes in game number 1, and now the series is tied 1-1 between Check and HawK. Who's gonna take the lead? An mTw player is in the finals for sure, but who's it gonna be? This is of course the best map for the human that he can pick. He starts in the upper right, natural expansion, very close. In the meantime, very easy to creep as well. So Check, what's his solution on this map? Will we maybe see a Demon Hunter now?
That would greatly surprise me. Once again, this is a hard to creep on map for the Demon. The Keeper has a much easier time. And Keeper it is again, will be jumping to level 2 right away with this creep of the Ancient of War at the Ogre Magi and the Tuskars. Is he going to be aggressive then with that is the question. You get level 2, you get 3 instant entangle, especially if you find a greater mana, that's going to be very tempting. And how quickly is HawK going to expand? You can instant expand here. That is absolutely doable, and if you do it well, the Night Elf can't really kill you there or anything. But if you do it, getting level 3 AM might turn out to be very difficult. Because you're going to be in a defensive position, you can't really move out, you don't have the creep camps nearby to take, so perhaps HawK wants to go for smaller green camp, at least one before, then for the natural, and then he's going to be much closer to level 3 already.
That's true. It's not easy as you say. How much damage can he do against the expansion is really the question here for Check, and will he expand at the same time? Northern Isles is one of the newer maps in case you're watching Warcraft for the first time in forever and you missed Turtle Rock maybe. That's out of the competitive map pool for now. Maybe it's being reintroduced later on. But yeah, CH and Northern Isles are our new maps in the pool. So no big mana potion. That's good for HawK, but having the greater healing is never wrong.
There was a Wisp nearby for the spell against the Water Elemental, but HawK was really patient, not summoning the Water Elemental until he killed that Wisp off. So the one Water Elemental basically was enough to tank this entire camp. Then again, some footies are hurt, some peasants are hurt. This is certainly quite a bit of damage onto the units of the AM, so the Keeper swooping in. Is this gonna be his last hit? Oh my god, this would have been so big. Doesn't get the last hits, but was very close. And peasants he still certainly can find.
He has Entangle for sure. He could go for the last hit on the Water Elemental, but doesn't want to sacrifice HP for that. And a second Engine of War. And a Huntress Hall. On the map where you expand the easiest with Terran Stand, he goes for Mass and Rush. I'm not too sure that HawK is expecting this.
Yeah, really rare to see. This is certainly an all-in. This is a Huntress tier 1 pressure all-in. It kind of makes sense, I guess, against the AM, who's not going to be level 3 for a while. But if this AM hits level 3 or level 4, these Water Elementals may win this game for him by themselves.
The expansion is so late. He killed all but one peasant, or he will kill all but one peasant. If he's right-clicking enough, and he does. This will take forever. Even like, he doesn't even have to use the TP. He has the potion of greater mana, and another Entangle kills another peasant. Whew, this is like the Berlin airport here.
And, you know, it didn't look too scary, I guess, when he was taking a bit of damage from this creep camp on his units. But this is what can happen. Suddenly they're a little bit bruised. Suddenly they can die so quickly to this keeper, who still got one more spell to use, by the way. And the Huntresses, the first one's out already. More wisps are coming from the south. The AM is still far away from level 3.
It's absolutely an issue. You have to use the militia again to fight a little or scare the keeper away. But in the meantime, we get more and more Huntress, and Huntress are really, 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 really good in taking out workers.
Is he gonna commit already? Is he gonna detonate these wisps? This is still pretty early on here. You want to usually wait with Hunters until you have more of them. But already pretty big commitment here by Check. Moving in, detonate onto AM and Water Elementals. AM dry, Water Elemental gone. Expo still not standing. There's one tower there at least. And a lightning shield has been found. It's being used here on one of the footies. But not to too great of effect.
Yeah, Check microing this archer away immediately. His control seems to be on point in this game. One tower up, and it's only an arcane tower, as you can see. 9 average damage. That doesn't do too much against Huntress. And another kill. These bouncing glaives, it's gonna be mass from HawK from this moment on. Mass workers, mass footmen, and that's what the Hunters are so strong against. No chop up yet.
Yeah, HawK needs towers. He's got the lumber mill. He's got the scout towers up as well, but not upgrading yet in these hunts. As you say, so tough to deal with right now. The AM still doesn't have the mana, still only level 2. Now getting entangled, getting focused. Might be forced into the TP. So might be the keeper, though. Both heroes here extremely low.
Can he reach for another entangle? He has the mana. Huntress is blocking him a little bit. Can he get in range? The range of entangle was reduced in this patch, and that cost him the hero kill right there. But the Huntress made up for it.
One guard tower coming up with the expansion. Really important. If that one finishes, it's going to make things much easier. And the TP is forced.
Yeah,
buying
nice
time.
Nice movement by HawK with the 2 healthy footmen that he still had. Chasing this keeper who wanted to go in for this entangle again, but then he got in swords range and got the kill. Oh, the 3 Hunters are still there. HawK is not paying attention.
Oh my god.
Or calculating this perfectly, one or the other.
Jesus Christ.
Another Hunt is chasing, but not for too much longer. That could have been a kill right there for a lot of footmen or the Archmage or both. He's still in dire straits, man. He can't go back.
A town is
You can TP to the expansion. There he has a shop.
Engine Protector coming up, but footmen take care of it. More distraction.
Yes, TP.
A player's
There we
forces
go.
are under
But the
attack.
keeper is really close by. HawK, this is scary.
He doesn't have a potion, but perfect TP position. Uses the regen scroll immediately. Quite a bit of it is cancelled by the bouncing glaives. Almost getting
the
this
tower
guard
finished.
tower.
Oh, this was so important.
Whoa, holding on. But for how much longer? There's towers. He cancels all of them again.
Yeah, and there's 2 guard towers now. How are the Hunters supposed to break this now?
That's a good question, man. Level 3 on the keeper might help. It's so close to level 3 Archmage. 4 XP. And now the regen scroll. The value on this regen scroll. Good thing for Check. He realizes, okay, your expansion is safe now, but I saw a little opening into your base.
Oh, yeah.
Floodgates, open.
Call to arms being used here on these militia. He's aiming for the Archmage. He's got the entangle, but the range isn't there. The foot is trying to surround the keeper. There's a TP not available on him either. Both heroes are in dire straits indeed. AM backing up towards the Expo.
What a game. Action-packed from minute 2 on, once the heroes left the altar. This is what we love. Check is missing another Moonwell. I'm looking for it, but it's not coming.
Wow.
He's
HawK.
supply stuck at 40. This gives HawK more time.
HawK is teching without a tower in the main. Isn't that a little, more than just a little risky, it seems to me?
He's moving away from these wisps as he has the mana for level 2 Water Elemental. Summons it now. Can he snipe these wisps again? Nope.
But there's 3 wisps for 1 Water Elemental. He's got more mana. Clarity's still running.
Ooh, that's big indeed. You can see the clarity here. And of course the Brilliant Aura is working into this as well. Is there some kind of transition? No, it's still Huntress. The Moonwell
Player's
here now
forces
in
are
front
under
of
attack.
HawK's base.
So many footies. Looking for the surround.
Almost.
AM always has to be careful though. Cannot afford to die. The entangle finds him. The Huntress is trying to close that surround. And I think they got it.
Oh, no TP still. No potion. He would love to get onto that ship and just sail away, but of course it's not possible.
The keeper.
HawK The one mistake. Oh, damage is enough, but yeah, can he get the counter kill? That's the question. The keeper is stuck there as well without a TP. This is looking like a double kill.
Oh my God,
The tower! Oh, hero Arcane! This one guy sitting at the top of this tower. Good eye sniper.
Players' forces are under attack.
Ooh. HawK breathing one hell of a breath of relief right there. Lots of money on him as well, by the way. More than 1,000 gold for HawK. Going towards the tavern, I guess both are. Both heroes bought back. Expensive, but no mana to use, of course. The AM is safe to run away again. And towers are coming up in the main. 2 guards almost up. It's gonna make this very difficult for the Hunters who are still dealing with these footmen. Will, of course, win that battle. But the footies fall back to the expansion again towards the shop for more regen.
How many
Players'
wisps can
forces are under attack.
Check sacrifice? When will the water elementals finally be overwhelming? Oh, aiming for this around again with the help of the stones. Nope, footman too slow. So tier 2 is ready, but Check is taking out the altar. This means no Mountain King, no Paladin. He could go and should go maybe for the Alchemist again.
Yeah, but
The big thing here is now potions for HawK.
yeah,
From the
absolutely.
shop.
And perhaps even a TP to be really safe. Towers are covering the peasants, but not covering the barracks. Once again, getting taken out quickly. But dude, Check needs a scroll of healing.
Yeah,
Bad.
absolutely. Level 4 here. HawK is kind of forcing another fight, trying to get some kills, but that doesn't work without the Archmage. But it's more distraction as he keeps the barracks up, so Rifleman can come now for production starts. Arcane Sanctum at the Expo, which... Oh, Alta in the back here. Not going for an Alchemist, but... Mountain King. Ah, he needs an Alta anyway, right, to hire?
Yeah.
You can just revive without an Alta from the tavern.
Depending on where the MK pops out, he might even be stuck here. He's unfortunate. But HawK has a bit of time here. He's not under pressure right now. He's getting more rifles. If he has a good number of rifles and priests, these hunters stand no chance anymore. Check has to keep up the pressure and has to go for those scrolls. For that reason, he has to go for the merchant. And hopefully for him, he doesn't get poisoned too much, but the assassins are finding quite a few connections.
Poison doesn't kill here. Heal scroll used already. Second one is up too. Robe of the Magi, always nice. But yeah, Check's gonna be supply stuck at 53 because of this Moonwell position. That was nice when he was here and maybe was a little desperate. Are there no wisp in the main? Okay, he could have built it somewhere else, but it was nice to have a little bit of regen in the middle of the fight. But yeah, that backstops him now. He can't go into 60 supply, and you don't want to be at 52 supply, that's for sure. We have a Glaive Thrower now. Good against casters.
Going for the merchant, very understandable, but now he's continuing to creep. Check is giving more time to HawK. But then again, what's the alternative play? Try to, like, right-click down the keep with the Huntresses? That's not going to work either. And Check is in a horrible position in this game. I don't know what the winning play is here at all.
Yeah, man, HawK hiding in his base and trying his best to somehow reach tier 2 and let the expansion pay off. It was really, really close, man. Check could have gotten the game there.
A player's forces are under
Return
attack.
kill on the hero. Check is again trying to push with 3 wisps once again. But the human found a big mana potion and creeping more. Mountain King is going to be level 2 here. And the Blue Drake is dropping the biggest item on the map.
That's some great stuff here to pick up, but also some disappointing ones. Ancient Django again. Outstanding item, of course. Check is now knocking on the expansion door once again. TP back is coming. Workshop will probably be getting taken out over time, but one more team should make it back at least. Make it out.
Stormbolt on the first priest. Clap, but the 2 detonates. Now it's completely dry. The clap was good though. Can the water elementals go to the glaive throwers? He's protecting them nicely with an entangle. Nutrients protecting the glaive throwers again. Mountain King is down to 50%, has a potion and used the mana already. There's another Stormbolt, level 5. Archmage is still chasing, but for what really? More teams are ready and deal with the Huntress.
And Hawkman is going really aggressively in. He lost a lot of units, like almost all of his units, but he's getting more time for more mortars as well. Keeper at the shop has to go for the invul. Can he dodge the Stormbolt? Pops it earlier. Level 4 down on the AM as well, with more mana even for everything else now. Invul is over, going for the Keeper again. Still no TP, right click coming in. Can he get away? Walking towards the back, just barely survives on 25. And now the MK might be the prize.
And a potion.
Heal potion is there.
These mortar teams
The
holding
player's
this
forces are under
expo
attack.
once again. And now this Keeper. There's still a water elemental chasing. He can't risk anything here.
And now Mass Huntress dying. Stormbolt, focus. This is the third Huntress in the matter of 15 seconds. Takes out a Glaive as well with great multi-micro right there. There's a spell against the Entangle as well. Keeper still has to be super careful. GG! And HawK takes the lead.
His map, his win. Now match points for the Russian. See him stretching there. Whew, that was intense. That game could have gone both ways, man. Really a surprise by Check. An absolute curveball on a map where both parties are always expanding. Even Undeads love their expansions there on Northern. But yeah, this Engine of War was so much pressure. He was so far away of breaking HawK, but the resiliency of the Russian man pays off, and yeah, 2-1 for him.
Yeah, it doesn't take much of an opening for Check to get really, really scary. HawK crept that first cap not quite perfectly. For that reason, Peasants were more hurt than they were supposed to, and with that with that lower health, the Keeper could find all those kills, could get all the damage in early and delay everything for HawK. And what I really liked was he had 2 Huntresses and already went aggressive with them. This is pretty unusual. Normally, we see a bit more creeping, level 3, maybe pick up a scroll, then you have 4 hunts, and then you go in. But he went in with 2 hunts right away, and even more importantly, perhaps 3 wisps to detonate the water elemental and dry the AM completely of mana.
So early, indeed. He was not really lucky, but he got the Brilliance Aura. That was good. But he was on level 2 for so long.
Yes.
Level 3 water elementals, I don't know, did they have so much of an impact in this game? Later when the Glaives were there, they had, but they were just gone the entire time because of 3 wisps, which is of course a big investment, but with Mass Huntress you can afford it. Mistake by Check for getting the 4th Moonwell. Do you think he can break him if he's not forgetting this Moonwell, has 3 Hunters a little bit earlier? I mean, on this top level, it's always nuances that make the difference, and making such a mistake...
It certainly was very close. Also, there could have perhaps been an opening to break the main, right?
Yeah.
When HawK tech tier 2 without any tower, I was like, oh boy.
Yeah, I was wondering
dangerous.
why he was pushing for this altar. Of course, it makes sense you want the altar gone, so there's no Mountain King, which was really effective in the end. But if you go for the economy, and you can take out these workers so fast if your Hunters are there, and you also have quite an okay position.
Yeah, I think
behind all.
I think he was trying to go for the main, but HawK was to the left between the 2 bases with the Footy and the AM, trying to distract and to defend. And then he saw the opportunity at the hero kill. Yeah. And then he left the main go, hunted down the AM, and he got him, but the tower kill. That was also such a big deal, man. That last hit from the Arcane.
Okay, Check surprised us all yesterday when he eliminated Fog. He will surprise us once again on his 2nd map choice. Here we see them once more, maybe for the final time, as it is match points for HawK. In the upper left, we have the Russian leading 2-1, and in the upper right, it is Check. Is it this time something else? We see already the Engine of War, not at the mercenary camp, but in the upper left. So this means no immediate level 2. This means 499%, no Warden.
Yep.
Still hoping to see a Demon Hunter, to be honest, but chances are rather low in this matchup. On HawK side, though. Mountain King first, possible on this map. Blood Mage, possible on this map. Will he take a play out of Sock's book, maybe?
We've been seeing more and more of that recently, that's absolutely true. But it's still pretty exotic. And HawK isn't exactly the most exotic player. I think he's going to stick with AM and fast expansion here. That has been working really well so far for him. Won both games here with that strat and doing it once more. AM coming out against the Keeper. And most likely fast expo, I think. It's certainly an easy early expansion map, not hard to creep up that gold mine at all. But you want Mercamp support as well. If you go from Mercamp into then expansion, it's going to take a long time. And the rush distances between the mains are really short. So the Keeper could go for economy harass here very well, even extremely early on.
All right. Yeah, HawK indeed. Not going for the Mountain King here. In China and Asia, Mountain King or Blood Mage are becoming more and more standard on this map. But yeah, HawK loves the Archmage. Almost always goes for him.
Really early Scout Tower, right? Yeah. I wonder how early he's going to upgrade it. Maybe he's absolutely expecting this level 1 Keeper harass and doesn't want to be annoyed by that too much. But that is quite a bit of lumber that he's additionally investing. He's sending out 5 militia south. That should be the natural, not the Merc camp. Wisp scouting. Check is really good with these early Wisp scouts, by the way. Wait, is it the Merc camp? Really? With only 5 militia? Okay.
When the keeper is rushing over, is the Arcane Tower... Nope, it's just the Scout Tower, not upgraded yet. Shadow Priest, of course, one of the most important things here. As you pointed out with the Merc camp. Renegade goes down, so this is big experience for HawK already. Oh, this Lightning Shield will hurt. I want to click on the item Ring of Protection only for the second time. And hello, Treants and Keeper.
But AM's level 2 already. He's got the Shadow Priest. Keeper doesn't have Entangle, but he gets 1 peasant. He's gonna get certainly 2 peasants here. And okay, this is becoming a little expensive for HawK, but he's not bothered by this at all, I guess. He's continuing to creep.
Are under attack.
Getting closer to level 3. The Arcane in the main is almost finished. But the Keeper, of course, can summon more Treants. Here we go. But there's still plenty of peasants on lumber, actually.
Yeah, he's blocking himself a little. Not optimal damage for Check at the moment. And the militia take care of it. Goes into lumber, delays the tech. So Check this time. On map number 1, it was his mistake to tech late. Let's take a look. He's teching now. Not going into mass archers, also not sending them in for the help, at least not all of them.
1 more kill for level 2. Check would love to find something here. A peasant would do it, but he didn't get the low HP peasant in the main. That was nicely saved by HawK. That actually is a bit of a problem here for Check. Only level 1, when you decide to go for this harass, is not what you want. And at the Merc camp, the Berserker's going to be ready in just a second.
Player's forces
HawK
are under attack.
doesn't have the supply for it, though. Ah, no, he just finished the farm. Here we go. Now he has the Berserker.
HawK is repelling this really, really nicely. As you said, only 2 losses thus far. Can he get more now? Can he get the kill now? Check for this Entangle to do more damage. There's no sign of a counter expansion. Maybe an Alchemist push later. He wants the second Shadow Priest, and he gets it. That's really big for Check.
AM is level 3 already, though. Already 2 water elementals here, so you can dispel 1 water elemental, but there's still going to be some left. Archers, how much can they do? Quite a few units here are certainly hurt for HawK, and now the water elementals are actually gone.
Okay, time to breathe for Check, but still no kill. But a counter expansion. On the back of this attack, so he's not under too much pressure anymore. He would love to get 1 or 2 kills to delay the unit expansion, though.
Keeper dropping very low, and still not level 2. Jesus Christ, he just needs 1 last hit, but not even the water elemental will be his. Perhaps a little greedy, using only 1 abolish, not 2. And now he's too low to really do anything. I guess he can get healed up by the Shadow Priest.
Yeah, he has a caretaker here.
He's at last hit
This water
on the water elemental.
He got it. All right. So Entangle, does he have the mana for it at the moment? Yeah, soon. 1 footman about to fall, the priest in the back about to fall, but he can catch up, keep up the pressure with this Keeper only.
HawK is standing on top of these invisible archers. Doesn't want to lose the scout tower. Now he's walking away from it, though. Is Check gonna realize he could cancel the tower? Nice. He realized it indeed, and that's a big pickup, actually.
And the pressure won't stop. We have an Alchemist with Acid Bomb. Only 1 water elemental here. Parking these archers was really good.
A little sloppy by HawK. He could have just left 2, maybe 3 footies behind, and then the tower would have finished. But, I don't know, perhaps he forgot about them. Going for the Berserker now next. This is the biggest kill he can find here, Check can, and he gets it as well. The Dispel is a little too late to heal. Not enough.
What a deadly bird this Keeper was throwing there. Just in time to get the kill. Shop is up now. Goes into more footmen, or should be going into more footmen, but waiting for the resources to tech finally. Acid Bomb is gigantic, but he didn't hit the hurt footman, so that's not ticking down. And HawK is doing a good job contributing damage to both of the heroes here. No level 2, of course, for the Alchemist. Still no level 3 on the Keeper, and they're both quite hurt. So how long can he stay in there? He has to creep at the same time, his bottom right. The tree is already on the way.
Yeah, and when he goes over there to creep, HawK is probably gonna be like, huh, where are you? You've been right next to my main, to my expansion for a solid 2 minutes. Why are you suddenly gone? And I remember also that you were low HP, so perhaps now it's time for HawK to put on the pressure. Who, by the way, just started teching and is starting to get his infrastructure up.
But we get the first 2 engines of lore in Check space, and with that, most likely Dryads this time, right? Because the most dangerous thing here are
Yeah.
water elementals still, and without an expansion, you really don't want to invest so much gold into wisps all the time, because, and you need to tech as well. But
see the expo? No, he did.
sees the expo now. Check eats a tree immediately. Archmage not turning around immediately, taking care of these wisps, so they can't repair. This one's gone once again to the detonate, so no experience. But again, he takes it out. Finally, another water elemental. Oh man, I love HawK's reaction here to snipe the wisps so quickly.
It's 3 wisps so far, I think, that were eliminated with detonate.
He doesn't he doesn't go to the tree.
Still slowing him down, though. There's still no creeping being done. The tree was
A player's
walking
forces
around the
are under
forest there
attack.
once, and that takes a while without Nature's Blessing. And yet Dryads are starting to come in. Are going to be really good here in this mid game against the water elementals for the slow and yeah, for the control basically that they offer. But they're going to start falling off really hard later on once we have rifles and mortars.
Absolutely. And the blacksmith is already on the way, so we might get early rifles here. Acid bump again. Decent microbite check here, saving this priest, but the murlocs, the trappers are coming in, helping HawK out a little.
Entangle, as a bomb. This should be the TP now. Oh, level 1 Entangle, right. Nope, actually he just walks it off.
A player's
And it's
forces
daytime,
are
by the
under
way. At the
attack.
shop, he could go for the consumables. Creeps are still there, but can still do it. This is a big deal. Shop control, guys. You know it. Echo Isles is essential. But HawK is going to pass this by. He may come to regret that later.
Yeah, he can go for a scroll, for a region scroll here. Goes for a Sanctum. Rifles are coming. Tier 2 is ready. Mountain King second again. And the first attack upgrade. He just spent a lot of his resources. And his Expo is so safe. 2 Arcane Towers against Treants. 1 Guard Tower against Dryads.
Player's forces
But
are under
Check is
attack.
getting the middle of the map. Check is getting the consumable. The first heal scroll is there. Can't really go for the invul at the moment, but we'll have that soon.
And the AM really quick progress this game. Almost level 4 already, which is going to be so helpful for everything he's going to be adding in later on mana-wise. For second and third hero. And the priests, of course. Where are the priests, by the way? They're a little late, aren't they?
The Sanctum is finishing now. He's prioritizing them quite heavily. Like, early rifles, but then second most important thing were priests and the mortars and the flying machine, maybe. They're gonna be late. Check is not taking to tier 3, by the way. This will be heavy Dryads. And soon to be an easy counter for HawK. Oh, nice block by this water elemental. 3 damage on the keeper.
Oh, that was really nice. Plenty of damage. Now, though, finally, he is going tier 3. Check is, but yeah, that's pretty late. Here come the Dryads, offering plenty of slow AM. Very far forward, perhaps too far forward. This could be the TP force, but no, once again, he gets away without having to use it. MK coming in as well. Stormbolt, the first one on the Alchemist.
Can't connect
But
though.
he's still okay.
Heal scroll being used, that was big. He can get another kill thanks to the Dryads. Here we go. Archmage is basically useless at the moment. Only 1 priest to profit from the Brilliance Aura. And the water elementals can't be used anymore. They're just feeding Check onto level 3.
No tier 3 tech this time by HawK. I mean, he doesn't have the lumber for it at the moment.
Check is going tier 3, by the way, now.
Still more teams are coming. HawK is already in upkeep here, getting closer to 60. And needs to start making new farms here to continue the production. Is he going for good old-fashioned tier 2 70 supply push? Haven't seen this in a while.
Would be interesting with the expansion up. He's getting level 4 now. Mountain King is with 0 experience. The trade XP-wise was certainly better for Check there in the south. And with the Dryad control and Dryad scouting, he can make sure to get the 12 o'clock as well. And that's a level 3 Alchemist for him. Ooh, this is a neck-and-neck game so far.
Yeah, nice use of the Dryads here. Keeping HawK busy and also providing scouting, but the Dryads are gone from the main. They saw the tier 2 there just a moment ago, but now HawK is going tier 3 as well. That really is pretty late, however. No solo creeping on this MK, actually.
It's a pretty poor MK, right?
Yeah. Gonna have a tough time this game finding level 3, that's for sure.
But he has an easy time surviving with +5 armor. And the priest in the back. It is 70 supply. Is he
forces
making
are
his way
under
over without a heal scroll? Without an invul? This could be a good fight though. Check has no alchemist. Hammer to the head of the keeper. No real follow-up. Oh, there's another Stormbolt. This is a TP, right?
Yeah. Yeah, forces that one. Dryads will... most of them go back home. There's one more camp to creep for HawK. That's the turtle in the bottom left. But that's it then. Alchemist still has more to soak up. There's a Merc camp still for him. Also the turtle and a few smaller ones as well. HawK, of course, is still waiting for his tier 3, for his upgrades, for his perfect late game army, which we've seen now a few times. But he's not going to have the hero levels that he had earlier. Not on the second and third.
Yeah. 2 on the Mountain King finally. But Check just wants to buy time for, again, his seemingly favorite units, the Bears. Upgrades coming, defensive upgrades. And Master Training is done already, so...
Oh, look at the MK.
The classic Night Elf composition.
This MK is really
player's
tanky.
forces
Holy
are
moly.
under attack.
8 armor now and evasion. The next heal scroll goes to Check. He got 3 out of 3 heal scrolls in this game.
Certainly a problem for HawK later. He's starting... He could shoot through the forest to get to the shop. And that's exactly what he does. Great minds think alike, I guess.
That's pretty cool. Well, he's gonna see that he's a little... Oh, actually there's one scroll in there. Okay.
Right, so
Not picking up the invul. Okay, no, he did. Alright,
just give him some time, man. It's been a stressful series.
Oh, he could find the perfect opportunity for a creep jack here.
Oh,
Flare, though.
But Check, of course, sees the flare as well.
Yes. And he's not gonna go for the camp.
A
Oh my
player's
god, this
forces are
bottleneck, by
under
the way,
attack.
would be horrible if the Bears should make it in there. I guess the keeper could widen the gap with the Treants. And in we go. 4 teams raining down on these Dryads.
The spell was perfect and super quick. Redo on the Dryads, but yeah, where can they really go? Either into the Murlocs, wasting some damage now. Bear falls to the front line. Here comes Clap level 2. Mortar finding the Dryads again. Check has to micro heavily to get the Dryads out of Mortar range, but that doesn't work really. Oh, the Clap against 4 Bears at the Alchemist here. But the Mountain King is under a little bit of pressure. We said he's not going to die, but maybe he is in the end. Has an invul potion to be safe here. Archmage completely uncontested. Now switching the focus a little.
A player's forces are
He's still coming in. AM not dropping very low. Has to go for the TP. The MK also in trouble, but the Entangle is on cooldown. And HawK gets out of there. Once again, Check like in the previous games, buying time for himself by forcing the TP.
Yeah. That was... Maybe the focus on the Mountain King was way too much and you should rather go for the Archmage earlier.
Didn't present himself too easily though at the beginning. The scary thing here though with that engagement was it started without frag shards. And it still went as well as it did for HawK.
Now Frag Shots is ready.
Yes.
Okay, tier 3 done, 3-0 upgrade, the Paladin again. HawK is pushing for the grand final and 1,000 euros. Sponsored by Thermaltake, of course.
Oh, the keeper has to run. He wanted to go for the heal scroll, but couldn't get it. So HawK will pick that up.
He doesn't have the gold at the moment. Needs a little more time. There we go. Oh man, that's a lot of mortar teams. And 2-2 as well. Big on the armor upgrades. Which is good against Acid Bomb, I think. 3-0. About to be finished. 3 quarters only. He'll scroll an invul ready. Flare again.
The southern part of the map is so good for ranged armies like this. Can oftentimes be hard to find a good position when all the bears encroach on you and get the perfect surround. It's very scary. But in these little tight corridors, the bears are going to have a tough time.
Check was so good with his shop control, but in the most important moments, HawK seems to claim it with 1 heal scroll and double invul here. He knows that hero focus is one of the strongest things that Check has to offer in this army, and he protects both of his heroes from it.
And now we have Interfire as well. Previous engagement didn't have that upgrade either.
Militia coming from the north. Nice clap as well. Is this the final push for HawK? Oh, the frag shards! Insane damage in the backline. The Archers can't help too much as well. Bears are pretty much immobile, not doing damage. They are slowed the entire time. Yes, they have roar, but what else? The mortar teams are pretty safe now and more damage. Wow, he's just killing these Archers so quickly. And everything else falling in the front line as well. Check is struggling hard.
I haven't seen an 80 versus 80 fight so one silently stomped in a while. HawK has gotten his perfect army again. And Check is nowhere near where he needs to be to deal with it.
Miss Rally, that's a bear for free. Oh, the staff, okay. One potion on the Alchemist. Trying with the zero focus, but as we said, invo potions everywhere. HawK didn't even had to use the heal scroll.
Yeah, this is looking like a doomed game for Check. Not even 60 supply now for him. The Warner team's gonna take out this Tree of Life here pretty quickly. Moonwell falling as well. Level 4 suddenly for this MK. Quite a slow start into this game, but clap after clap raining down. GG! And HawK will take this with 3-1.
We have ourselves a finalist. He is from mTw. We know that before the first battle of Russia versus Korea goes to Russia. We have a human in the final and a big smile on Sergei Shebakov's face.
Wow, looking so strong here today. Like, he has his game plan, and that just works out. We're gonna have him over here in a moment for a little winner's interview as well to talk to him about this great performance, the second 3-1 victory for him yesterday. Taking out Ente. Today taking out Check, who was the surprise of the tournament. Looking very strong against Foggy himself yesterday. But just HawK seemed to have all the answers here.
I think so too. He had really good timings. He wasn't struggling too much. He had always the right army composition, I feel. Always the right decision when it comes to what do I need when and where do I have to be where. When do I have to be where? He gave up the first heal scrolls, but when it counts, he had him. And yeah, once he's tier 3 with all that damage, I don't know, man. Our bear's still the thing to go for Check. Maybe he's a little bit stuck in the old meta.
That's true.
Maybe needs some more time. There weren't too many big mistakes in this series, though. To be honest, I expected less from Check. Not only yesterday, but also today. Took a map here. Had some very good fights. Northern Isles was really close. Could have gone the other way. But I think the better player won, certainly.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely looked that way. And HawK was already hinting at that yesterday, that he's feeling confident in this matchup, actually. That he has apparently figured Night Elf out for the most part, as long as he can expand. And you can apparently do that again on most maps nowadays. Why didn't Check go for AZ, I wonder?
Maybe it was banned. No, it wasn't banned. TM was banned.
Twisted Meadows was banned.
Huh.
Amazonia was available. So he chose Echo over AZ, which is very unusual, I think.
That's a good point, yeah. AZ usually the Night Elf map, but maybe he was afraid of HawK's rifle push or something. Anyway, it didn't work out for him. Still, $500 for Check and his family, which is quite nice, including this nice little travel to Germany. HawK, 1,000 euros guaranteed. Could make it up to, or could double it to 2,000. His opponent in the grand final, which is going to be best of 7, is going to be an undead. Happy or Lucifer? That's the question. That's going to be our next match here from Berlin. mTw Legendary Cup will continue after the interview, of course, that we will get with HawK. But we go into a little break to present our sponsor, without whom nothing of this would be possible. So we give a little hand to Thermaltake.